Hey guys, welcome back to You the Boss podcast, episode 101. I'm so grateful that you're here. I want to start today's episode with something that I wish more people understood. You're not behind, not in your career, your motherhood, your finances, your healing, not in finding your purpose, not in building your dream life. You're becoming. And I know that that's easier said than believed because we live in a world where every time we open social media, someone's announcing something. They're announcing, they quit their corporate job and they're chasing their dream. They lost weight. They're traveling the world, or maybe they're accomplishing something that we've been praying for. Without realizing it, we measure our life against everyone else's highlight reel. And suddenly the question isn't, am I growing? The question becomes, why am I not there yet? Today's episode is all about letting go of the comparison, embracing the season of preparation, and learning to trust your own pace. The timeline that you're meant to live was never supposed to look like anyone else's. This is your journey. We've started to make comparison steal our peace. It starts out feeling harmless. Sometimes it's just, I'm looking for inspiration. I'm looking for motivation. But somewhere along the way, that inspiration turns into insecurity. Instead of celebrating someone else's success, you begin to question your own. You stop seeing what you've accomplished because you're focused on what someone else has. You're looking at someone else's plate, so to speak. And it has a way of making your blessings feel invisible. It convinces you that what you have isn't enough because of what someone else shows you and what it appears to have. The hardest part of that is that most comparisons that we make aren't even accurate. We're comparing our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. We compare our chapter 3 to someone else's 15. We compare our beginning to someone else's breakthrough. And that's not even fair. You don't know the years that someone else struggled. You don't know the sacrifices that they've made. You don't know the failures that they've experienced before the success that you're seeing. Social media rarely shows the lonely nights, the rejection, the debt, the anxiety, the different uncertainty, the not sure I should post this, the not sure I should go for this job. It only shows the celebration. And when we're only consuming the celebrations, we start to believe that things should be moving faster for us. We start to question, am I doing the right thing? Life isn't a race. It's a journey. When we start to look at life like every season has a purpose, one of the biggest mindset shifts that I've had in realizing that not every season is about producing is that some of the seasons are for preparing. So I want you to think about planting a garden. You don't put a seed in the dirt and expect it to be growing full on tomorrow. There's work happening beneath that we don't see before it becomes visible. There's roots forming, strength is developing, foundations are forming. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean progress isn't happening. Life works the same way. Sometimes your current season feels quiet. Maybe you're learning. Maybe you're putting bandages on things that you need to heal. Maybe you're rebuilding after some disappointment. Maybe you're raising children. Maybe you're paying off debt and just working and paying off debt. Maybe you're even figuring out who you are, no matter the age. Those seasons matter. In fact, they're often the seasons that prepare you for everything that you've been asking for. If success arrived before your character was ready, would you be able to sustain it? If opportunities came your way before your confidence grew, would you even say yes? Would you even be ready? Preparation isn't punishment, it's protection. Sometimes God, if that's who you believe in, or just life, it's not saying no, it's saying not yet. There's still something that you need to learn before the next chapter. And that's why growing at your own pace is so important. It's important to trust that you're going at your own pace. One of the greatest gifts that you can give yourself is permission to move at your own pace. We've somehow made being busy a badge of honor. If we're not constantly achieving, if we're not constantly going, we feel guilty. If we're not producing, we think we're failing. But growth, it doesn't always look productive. Sometimes it's resting, therapy, saying no. Sometimes it looks like you're slowing down enough to actually enjoy the life that you're building. I want you to think about this. If you rushed into the life that you wanted before you became the person who could handle it, would it make you happier? Or would you just be more overwhelmed? Success without emotional maturity can become exhausting. Achievement without the inner peace, it's still empty. You're still chasing a high that's just not there because you're not ready for it. And the goal is never arriving. The goal is becoming the person who can fully enjoy where they're going. So I want you to treat this like you're running a marathon. Imagine you're running a marathon and now you're spending the entire race looking left to right at how everyone else is doing in the race. Eventually, you're going to lose your rhythm. You might trip, and that's exactly what comparison does. It pulls your attention away from your own lane, from your own plate. Instead of focusing on your own growth, you're constantly checking everyone else's progress. Your assignment was never to run their race. Your assignment is to faithfully run yours. Someone else's success isn't proof that you're failing. It isn't evidence that you've missed your chance. There isn't a limited amount of success available. Someone else winning doesn't mean that you lose. It just means that their timeline has absolutely nothing to do with yours. We're obsessed with arriving. I'll be happy when. I'll feel successful when. I'll finally be confident when. But what if we started treating life like it's not about arriving? It's about who we're becoming. Every challenge that you're facing right now is shaping who you're becoming. Every setback is teaching resilience. Every disappointment is building wisdom. You may not understand why things haven't happened yet, but one day you're going to look back at this current season and you're going to realize the delay, that it gave you exactly what you needed. We're so focused on getting somewhere that we miss who we're becoming along the way. And I think that that's the most important part. So today I want to give you some tools on trusting your own timeline. Number 1, replace comparison with gratitude. Every evening, write down 3 things that you're proud of from your own day. Not someone else's accomplishments, yours. Whether it's big or small, this helps train your brain to notice your own growth instead of being focused on everyone else's. Number 2, and this was kind of my favorite, audit your social media. Pay attention to how you feel after consuming certain content. If someone's post consistently leaves you feeling inadequate or jealous or discouraged, mute them. Unfollow them if needed. This is part of protecting your peace online. It's not rude. You're not doing it maliciously. Your environment it shapes your mindset. So fill your feed with people who educate, inspire, and encourage rather than make you question your worth. Number 3, create your own definition of success. This was very important because you have to ask yourself, what does success actually look like to me? What kind of life do I genuinely want? Am I chasing someone else's definition of success or my own? The clearer that your vision becomes, the less distracted you'll be by someone else's path. Number 4, celebrate the small wins. Don't wait until it's a big milestone to acknowledge your progress. Celebrate consistency. Celebrate showing up. Celebrate making healthier choices. Celebrate having difficult conversations. Celebrate maybe even feeling more confident. These small wins, they build the big momentum. They get you to that big milestone. Number 5, ask, who am I becoming? Instead of, when am I going to get there? When is this going to happen for me? Start asking yourself, who am I becoming through this season? That single question shifts your focus from outcome to growth. And growth is something that no one can take away from you. I want to suggest 2 books, one of which I'm listening to on audio right now. The first one is The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. This book explores self-sabotage, emotional growth, and how discomfort often signals transformation. The second book is The Gap and the Gain. This book is going to teach you to stop measuring yourself against an ideal that is always moving and instead measure how far you've already come. It's one of the best books on gratitude and progress and finding peace in your own journey. As we wrap this episode up, I want to leave you with this. The fact that your life doesn't look like someone else's is great. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It doesn't mean that you're late. It doesn't mean that you missed your chance. It simply means that you're living your story. Remember, an oak tree and a sunflower don't grow at the same speed. One blooms in weeks, the other one takes years. Neither is behind. Both are building in their own journey. They're simply becoming exactly what they're created to be. So stop apologizing for your pace. Stop rushing your growth. Stop measuring your chapter against someone else's ending. Keep showing up. Keep learning. Keep trusting. One day you're going to look back and you're going to realize when that delay felt like was actually preparation. You were never behind. You were becoming. Thank you so much for spending today with me. And if this episode encouraged you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who needs the reminder that their timeline is enough. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and follow the show so that you don't miss another episode. Until next time. And remember, you're the boss of your life. Own it. Believe it. Keep becoming.